Hi and welcome back to the Citizen channel. We continue our look at the Benjamin Mendy and Louis Saha Matturie trial. We're up to day 23 on the 27th of September 2022. Please, if you are new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications, all things Manchester City, including the more serious stuff with this as well, but obviously a lot more of the old football stuff as well. So push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications, please. Tell your friends, spread the word. And if you can give us a little thumbs up, guys, much appreciated. And there's a lot of you watching this trial as it goes on, and lots of views. If you can give us a little thumbs up as well, that'd be great. Right, to summarise, Mr. Mendy, 28, is accused of 7 counts of rape against 4 women, 1 count of attempted rape, and 1 count of sexual assault. The offence is alleged to have taken place at his Cheshire mansion between October 2018 and August 2021, relating to 7 women in total. Mr. Matturie from Eccles, Salford, is accused of 6 counts of rape and 3 counts of sexual assault relating to 7 women. Judge Stephen Everett resides at Chester Crown Court, and my thanks as ever to the Manchester Evening News for their court report and their timeline. The trial got underway at 11:54 a.m, so it went sort of straight through today. No particular breaks. So it started at 11:54 a.m. The court has played the remainder of a video-recorded cross-examination of Woman 10 by Eleanor Laws KC, who represents Mr. Mendy. Woman 10 is asked to listen to a voice note she posted to a friend while she was waiting outside China White nightclub. In the note, the young woman can be heard telling her friend, "I'm not even joking about the fucking party she was going to go to." Ms. Laws Casey suggested to the woman that she was very excited and was messaging her friend so she could come to the party as well. Woman 10 agreed and said she was telling her friend she was out and that she wanted a friend to go with her. The KC suggested to the woman that when Mr. Matturie came out of the club, he was with Jack Grealish. The woman said that by then she was in a taxi heading to Prestbury. The barrister suggested there was a lot of excitement outside the club with people taking videos and pictures, and that people were being told to delete any pictures. Woman 10 said, "Yes, I remember there's a lot of people coming out and people were taking photos. Those girls were told not to take photos. They were told to delete those photos on their phones and delete all the evidence of being there back to the club." The KC suggested to the woman that she was aware of the requirement to hand over a phone before she got into the taxi. The woman denied this and said, "I didn't think my phone would be taken off me at the party." Miss Law suggested to the woman she was perfectly happy to hand over her phone. Woman 10 replied, "I didn't understand why I had to give up my phone. To me, I was just asked to go to a party, and that doesn't happen. I've been to parties before and not been asked to give up my phone. That's quite an ambiguous thing. It shocked me." The KC asked why she had not ordered an Uber when she learned she had to hand over her phone. Woman 10 said, "I didn't have money in my account at the time to order an Uber back. I was waiting for my friend to see if they could come as well, to come with me." Pressed again on why she had not ordered an Uber, the woman said it was quite an ambiguous situation and that she didn't know what was going on. The request to hand over her phone was quite forceful and she felt obliged to hand it over. When it was suggested there was nothing to stop her going home, Woman 10 said, "I wouldn't have been able to get an Uber home. I could have called my mum, but I was waiting for my friend to get over there." Asked again, she said, "No, I felt obliged. I had to give my phone to these people." Woman 10 said a bottle was being passed around in the taxi on the way to the party. She agreed with the KC that neither Jack Grealish nor Benjamin Mendy were in their car. She said there were a few people at the party when she arrived. The KC suggested that nieces and nephews of Mr. Mendy were there, but the woman said she wasn't aware of this. Woman 10 agreed there was evidence at the house of a previous birthday party there. Woman 10 agreed that the friends of Mr. Mendy from France were there. The KC suggested to the woman she was excited to be in the company of footballers. Woman 10 said, "I wasn't excited that there were footballers there, I was just excited about a party." Miss Law suggested to the woman that she was excited that Jack Grealish was also there. "I wasn't excited that he in particular was there, no," she replied. Woman 10 denied her suggestion that during the party she had asked another woman at the party if she was Jack Grealish's girlfriend. The woman denied that. When the other woman answered no, she had said she wanted to be his girlfriend. Woman 10 agreed that she had told police that she had cocaine at her home before going out that night. Whilst at Mr. Mendy's house, she said she had raspberry vodka and probably a few glasses of champagne, but was not drunk. The court heard that woman had removed her skirt during the evening and that her top had covered her bottom. She agreed Mr. Mendy had complimented her on her figure, her bum and her eyes. She denied she'd told Mr. Mendy she was aged 21 or 22. No, I told him I was 17, she said. The KC suggested that her client had lifted up her top from the back and asked her to come into his office. Woman 10 said she'd agreed to go because she thought he wanted privacy from his friends. Asked if she was happy to follow him, she answered, I didn't know what he wanted. I thought he wanted more privacy. Ms. Law suggested to the woman she wanted something to happen between the two of you. Woman 10 said, no, I didn't want anything to happen between us. Woman 10 said she saw Mr. Mendy lock the door to the study when they went in, adding later she presumed he had locked it. She conceded that she now knows that the door was closed rather than locked, although at the time she thought it was. The KC suggested that Mr. Mendy said he wanted to have sex with the girl. Woman 10 said, no, he didn't say anything about sex. There was no build-up conversation. I didn't say yes to him. She agreed Mr. Mendy had asked her for oral sex, which she did. I did, but I didn't say I wanted it, said the woman. Describing how Mr. Mendy had used his hands to move her head towards him as he stood. He's pulled my head down and his hand was on my head, she said. When the KC suggested Mr. Mendy hadn't forced a woman to do anything, Woman 10 said, he did force me to have oral sex. The woman said Mr. Mendy had put his hands on the back of her head and pushed it towards his pelvis. The woman agreed that she'd never used the word force when she spoke to the police during a 3-hour interview, but she went on to say that she had used hand gestures when she explained what happened to officers. Woman 10 admitted she had not told police about oral sex, but said she had told someone at a sexual health referral centre. The KC pressed Woman 10 on why she had not mentioned to police something so noteworthy and traumatic. The woman, becoming upset, said, it was traumatic for me. It was just something you don't expect when you're in a room. I told the police absolutely everything. The woman said she had been no conversation at all with Mr. Mendy about sex. She said he turned her over to get into position but had not been forceful. Becoming tearful, Woman 7 said, I was fucking scared. I was really fucking scared. The KC suggested to the woman that at no point did she tell her client she didn't want sex. Woman 10 replied, no, I seized up. I was frozen. I was scared. I wanted it to stop. I didn't indicate anything because I froze in the moment. The woman said Mr. Mendy had told her during sex that she is not the she has not, so this is not the arse of a 17-year-old. Asked if there was a conversation about the pill, the woman said, I didn't consent to sex. She said that the following morning she received a text from Mr. Mendy saying, don't forget the pill. Woman 10 was pressed on why she had not left the party after woman 11 had told her she had been raped by Mr. Matturie. She said, it was an awful situation, something awful had just happened. My only focus was on getting out of the house and leaving. The woman said she told her boyfriend what had happened that night, but she denied telling him Jack Grealish had grabbed her head and kissed her. The woman agreed with the KC that if she had said this to her boyfriend, this would be a total lie. She said she had told her boyfriend the complete truth. A voice note is played to Woman 10 in which she appears to say on a group chat she had to sign an NDA last night and that she had to hand her phone over. It was so good, she is heard to say. Woman 10, when it was suggested she had not signed an NDA, replied that she had, but not that night. She said she was sitting beside Mr. Matturie in a taxi heading away from the party when she left the note. Other voice notes were played in court where the woman could be heard saying, honest to God, it was amazing, and oh, he's so sexy. In another, she is heard saying, I'm still fucked, it's the Dom, it's gone straight to my head. The woman tells her friends in another, please don't tell anybody. Woman 10 agreed she appeared to be excited and giggling in the messages, but she said this was because Mr. Matturie was beside her and she wanted to let her friends know where she was. She denied she was being, as Miss Law suggested, boastful about a fantastic peak of your life. Woman 10 is asked about the time when police came to her house to take an account from her for about an hour. The woman said she had told the officer the truth. She said she could not remember changing her mind about whether to give a video interview. I hadn't changed my mind about it. It was always something I wanted to do, said Woman 10. Ms. Laws asked the woman about how many people on her Snapchat story. It is suggested that the woman had posted a dramatic message following the alleged rape. Woman 10 said she didn't know then or now how many people were following her on her private Snapchat, but that there weren't many and they were all friends. pressed further by the KC, woman 10 broke down and said, "I've got no friends now. I feel shit." The woman said she could not recall posting a message saying that Mr. Mendy had been arrested and that Mr. Mendy and his PA had raped her. The KC suggested that no police officer would tell her that Mr. Mendy was to be arrested before she had even conducted her police interview. Woman 10 said, "I really hope they would have arrested him. As a woman, you really would want someone to be arrested for that. That's all I wanted." The woman denied telling police she did not want to do a video interview or hand over her phone. When the KC suggested to the woman, she then changed her mind. Woman 10 went on to say that there was no doubt in my mind that I wanted to go through with this. She agreed police had come to her to ask her specifically about Jack Grealish and that she had told them there had been no sexual contact between them. She told the court there had been no sexual contact, nothing happened with him, she said. Woman 10 agreed she had deleted some messages from her phone before she handed it to the police. Lisa Wilding KC is now asking Woman 10 questions on behalf of her client, Mr. Matturie. The witness tells the court she was not particularly interested in football. She's shown an image from her Instagram featuring her and two friends with the flag of St. George painted onto their cheeks, along with the tag "Pick us, love us, choose us." She denies she was inviting footballers to choose us. Woman 10 is reminded that she had told police in her interview that she didn't know much about Jack Grealish except they had recently arrived in Manchester and that he played football. "Yes, that's all I knew of him," Woman 10 told the court. The barrister went on, "You knew Jack Grealish was quite a star of the club and that he was not only popular with blokes, he was someone who had quite a following amongst girls, didn't he?" "I would have agreed with that, yes," said Woman 10. "You were really keen to meet him, weren't you?" asked the barrister, and the woman replied, "I wasn't keen to meet him, no." Woman 10 agreed she had retweeted a popular joke meme taken from a Stephen King film of a cloud heading into a gutter with the video saying that Jack Grealish was down there and a girl then seen climbing into the gutter. The woman told the court that it was a viral tweet that she had simply retweeted and that she had not interpreted it. "I just thought it was a funny thing," she said. The Casey said, "You were very keen to meet Jack Grealish, if possible, last summer." Woman 10 replied, "I've already told you, no." Woman 10 cries when she's asked about her relationships with her friends. Asked about one particular friend, she said, "This has caused a lot of problems with relationships. I'm friends with her now, but there have been times when I haven't been. People do distance themselves, and this has a lot to do with it." The woman said that Woman 11 told her she had been raped by Sahar when she'd been out in the car from the party at a petrol station. Woman 11 had confided she felt minging and dirty following the alleged rape, the court was told. Woman 10 said she had wanted to console Woman 11. Asked by the KC why they had simply not thought to leave the party together at that stage, Woman 10 said, "Yes, I had thought of that immediately, but I didn't have my keys and I didn't have my phone. I just wanted to console her. There was pretty much no way out." And that was the trial then. The trial was then adjourned and will resume in the morning on Wednesday, the 28th of September. Please let me know your comments. Thanks for listening in. And please, until we meet again, I know that's one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.